We are back. The League One season kicks off this evening. It's not Reading on Friday, but we are tomorrow. And I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more excited to be joined as ever by my good friend Jimmy as we take on another season as die-hard Reading fans and another potential for us to get promoted back to where we belong in the Championship. We'll discuss all of those bits and much more in this episode. We're going to cover off all of our pre-season thoughts, go into the squad depth, go to where we think the Royals will end up, who's going to be Reading's key players, predict a few bits here and there, who's going to be the standouts, best young player, all that kind of stuff. Maybe a few hot takes along the way. And the fixtures we're most looking forward to this season. If you're watching on TikTok, welcome. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, welcome too. Thanks so much for your support. We'll be here all season long, so stick with us. If you ever have any questions, fire them in the comments on whatever platform you're listening to, and we'll do our best to answer them. We do actually have one for today, but we'll save that for the end. And that's a minute of me waffling already, Jim. How's things with you, mate?
Yeah, all good, mate. Good to be back. And looking forward to the season. It's flown by already, this summer break.
Yeah, it really has. And it's been a little bit slow until the last couple of weeks in terms of incomings and things like that. But it feels like a really good time to do this podcast. Obviously, the season kicks off for us tomorrow. But after last night's Purple Turtle night out, a little bit more information and another big signing for us, I'd say, in Paddy Lane. Feels like a great time to do this. So I'm buzzing. I can't wait to get this season underway and be doing this again. So much fun and lots to chat about. So this is obviously the pre-season one, so probably be a little bit longer than usual. But let's kick off with it. Let's start by looking back at last season. Obviously, just missed out on the playoffs. I think pretty positive, all in all. Got the takeover done and probably exceeded expectations in where we finished in the table. Where do you think we are now compared to that team that finished last season, the team that finished 7th? Obviously, we've got a few outgoings and a few incomings. Where do you reckon we are strength-wise in comparison?
Well, I mean, the foundations are definitely there. I think we've recruited quite well so far, and I think we have replaced the players that that we lost over the transfer window. There's still a lot of work to do, but I mean, just sort of looking back to last season, like you said, getting Dye out of the club was obviously the main priority, and that happened. So whatever way you look at how last season ended, I think it was a huge success. And to keep the players that we managed to keep, the core that I guess throughout last season as well, the core of our team was sort of solidified, like Pereira, Bindon, Wing, Savage, Nibs. At the time, Smith, they were all arguably and statistically some of the best players in the league. And, we've gone on to sort of keep the majority of them, which is fantastic. Has sort of really laid the foundations in this season's rebuild.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the ownership thing it's obviously massive. We spent 95% of last season saying, if we get new owners in, things might start to get better and the squad depth will improve. We've got that now. We have lost some key players, the ones that you mentioned, but I do think that we've replaced them quite nicely, as you say. And I think the signings like Porty O'Connor is got loads of experience in League One. I think he was the highest rated defender in League One last season. So he's going to be great. Losing Bindon and Mbenge, to be fair, are massive losses because they were stalwarts for this side last season, and a lot of the reason why we performed as well as we did. But I'd take O'Connor. I'm not necessarily over Bindon, but I think as a replacement, I don't know if it gets much better than that in our sort of remit. Obviously, if we could go and get Van Dijk, maybe, but we can't. So I think O'Connor.
Yeah, definitely. He's a top signing. Like you said, one of the best centre-backs in the league. I thought he'd end up in the Championship, to be honest. I mean, I know we definitely had a helping hand in through Stephen Hunt, but are you, if you get offered one of the best centre-backs in the league, the captain of Lincoln as well, you're taking it. I think it's a fantastic signing. It was a really good signing to sort of kick off the transfer window. So, really happy with that. Jacob as well. on loan from Hull. On paper, I think he looks like a solid signing. Needs a bit of game time, obviously, and I think he'll definitely do a job in League One. And I know there's a load of old fans that have said that as well.
Yeah, I feel like most of the players we've signed, bar the guy from the Bundesliga, I'm not going to attempt to say his name just yet. I'll wait until I've heard a few others go first. They all seem to have come with quite high praise from the teams that they've left with, which I would say is quite abnormal. I feel like usually when you sign players, it's like, oh, he's terrible. He's the worst X we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But the guys we've brought in, like Lane and Jacob and O'Connor, the team's fans that they've left have said, oh, he's class. You'll love him. Like, he works hard. All kind of with attributes that exactly what we want. So I feel like that's very, very positive. And it's exactly what you want to hear.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I fully agree. Like you said, Jacob, O'Connor, we know what they're about, or we've heard from their fans what they're about. Finley Burns, he's an exciting young centre back with a load of potential, and again, he's got a decent amount of experience in League One and the Championship for someone his age. So that's a solid signing. Fraser from Crawley, another solid signing in an area we've been crying out for a CDM. For like a year and a half now, really, haven't we? Everyone wants Wing to push forward a little bit more. And yeah, I mean, he sounds like a solid. Well, he was a solid sort of performer in a team that got relegated. Feels like the kind of player where you just get a 7 out of 10 performance every single time he plays. So he looks decent. Omani, however you pronounce it. I'm pretty excited for this signing. I know everyone's sort of a little bit, well, not disappointed. Yeah, I guess just disappointed with the lack of like attacking options that we currently have, although that seems to all be changing day by day at the moment. But I think he's a solid signing. I can't remember the stats. I don't know. You may have them up in front of you. But I think it sort of equated that he was scoring sort of like 1 in 2 games in terms of the minutes he was getting at Pompey. But yeah, I mean, he just didn't get as much game time there. But, if there's a player that's scoring 1 in 2 in the Championship and they're like looking likely to be our backup striker this season, then I think that's a solid signing. Yeah, I'm just going to call him Danny. Daniel, Kaiariwa.
Kaiariwa. I was going to say Kaiariwa, but I'm not certain.
We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. But I mean, I've obviously never heard or watched him play, but
yeah,
he seems like a bit of a wild card. But he looks like he'll be a really sort of exciting player to watch. Looks pretty flary and pacey and skillful. And it sounded like he had some decent clubs back in Germany after him. So there's no reason why we shouldn't get excited by that transfer. And then obviously the marquee signing so far, I guess, alongside Paudie O'Connor, Paddy Lane, another serious signing, proven at this level, contributed a ton of goals and assists in Pompey's promotion season. So yeah, there's no complaints there whatsoever. Definitely need a few more faces through the door, but I think we're sort of well on our way for building a pretty solid squad this season.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think the experience part of it is really key, because obviously last season, I think we had the youngest or second youngest squad in the league. And obviously it worked fine. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I do think having experience will massively benefit some of the younger lads. And not just experience in the sense that they've got game time under their belt. Like Paddy Lane has been in League One. He's been promoted from League One. They won the league. Just having that winning mentality and he will be saying in the changing room, like, boys, it feels so good. Like we have to do this. Like, come on, let me give you guys this feeling, or like, let's work together so that you guys can experience this too. And I do think just having that winning mentality is something that Reading have lacked quite a lot over the years.
Yeah, definitely.
Think of anyone that, obviously Andy Carroll when he was here, had won a few bits or played at the very highest level. But yeah, it's something that we've probably lacked. So I think having that in this team will be a big benefit this season against what we had last. You've kind of
Yeah,
covered.
100%. I've got a question for you. Who from the academy do you want to see this season sort of step up and get a lot more minutes in the first team?
Yeah.
Yeah, who do you reckon?
Well, I mean, currently, given that we don't really have a number one forward, I'm going to say Basil Tuma, because I think he's such a good player that hasn't quite had the chance. I don't know if deserve is the right word, but he hasn't really had a chance. And I think he does always look promising when he plays. I think he scored the most goals of any Reading player in pre-season, which admittedly I know means absolutely nothing. But I'd like to see him get a bit more of a chance in League One. I think his pace can cause so many issues for a lot of defences in this league. And I think he's quite technical. And look, as I say, he should get a chance, given that we don't really have anyone currently that I'd say is nailed on to play up front for us. Like even tomorrow, like I couldn't tell you who's going to start. I guess O'Mahony, but Tuma is a good option too. And obviously, if O'Mahony's not ready to play 90, you'd think we see O'Mahony, Tuma come on. I mean, I could be chatting complete bollocks because they could just play Kelvin up front, but I think there's lots of question marks still around that. I do also think Reading will strengthen in that position before the window closes. But yeah, I think that's a long-winded way of me saying I'm quite excited to see what Basil Tuma can do this season, and he's probably my pick. Have you got one that springs to mind?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, to be honest, I agree. I mean, I think he's quite an exciting player to watch. He's rapid. That always adds a little bit of excitement. I mean, sort of been around the fringe of the first team over the last season, so it'll be good to see him hopefully make a step up. But also Ryan and Ahmed, the fullbacks.
Yeah,
I think there's just a lot of hype around all of those players over the last season or so. So it'll be good to see them finally get a chance in the first team. And I know even though we've made signings or a signing in the fullback positions, I don't think that spot is fully nailed on for like anyone, to be honest, at the moment on either side. So I think there'll definitely be opportunities for them there, and it'll be good to see them play.
Yeah, definitely. And like we're obviously in a position now where we can start to bring people in, and last season we spoke a lot about how important that depth is. And even though we have brought people in and we will continue to do so, I do still think there are key roles to be played by those academy players or fringe players, because it's a long season. Like it really is. They'll need to play. We got obviously loads of games in the league, EFL Cup, Carabao Cup. If we can go anywhere deeper than we did last season, that'll be a fair few games. FA Cup, like there's games. There's lots and lots of games. So there will be chances for these guys, and I think, yeah, a lot of them can step up to the plate, and I'm quite excited to see that. So let's see how we go there. I touched on it. I think it's probably worth talking about. Still no striker through the door. Still no striker that we think will be a kind of player that we're looking at to score at least 10 plus goals this season. Like we thought it might be Wareham. He's obviously gone. We spoke at length last season about how much we'd like Sam Smith to stay forever. Doesn't look like it'll be it definitely won't be Wareham. Maybe Sam Smith, but I can't see it happening. Rumours of Devante Cole. Who do you think Reading should go after, or if we get Cole, would you be very happy?
Yeah, I'd be pretty happy with Cole. I mean, we've seen what he can do at this level when he was with Barnsley. I can't remember the figures, but I think he scored over 15 goals both seasons before his move to West Brom. So yeah, I think he'd be a solid signing. In terms of like money, I can't sort of tell how much they're willing to sort of spend. But it sounds like he's within budget. So yeah, I think he'd be a great addition.
Yeah. I mean, the only slight worry with Cole is he played a total of 200 minutes last season and no goals.
Yeah.
But if you flick back, let's have a look. Let's flick back. I've got it here. He's got, in the season before, 48 games for Barnsley, 18 goals, 3 assists. The season before that, 15 goals, 3 assists. The season before that, 11 goals and 5 assists in the SPL with Motherwell. If we can get anyone in that's going to score, well, let's say the average there is probably around 14 goals. If we can get anyone in that's going to score 14 goals, I think you have to be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, he's got the record in League One, as in he's got the track record in League One. I think he would be a pretty shrewd signing for us. And then we can have a little bit of depth there, because I do think O'Mahony's going to be pretty strong. I just question whether he can be that guy that will score 10 plus.
Yeah. I think between the two of them and Tuma, and who knows, there might even be a third attacking forward signing. But like there's goals there. Yeah, I think he would be a great option.
Yeah. Right then, let's look a little bit closer at this weekend's game. We obviously travelled to Lincoln to kick our season off. Well, we signed their best player, so you'd like to think Reading have half a chance. I don't actually have it up in front of me. I could get it pretty quickly, but I think Reading have quite a poor record against Lincoln. Yeah, we've not beaten them in our last 6, and away, defeat, draw, defeat in our last 4. Can you make anyone feel positive after I've just put a massive down on it all?
I mean, it's the first game of the season. I guess anything can happen. I doubt much is going to happen. I feel like the most important thing we can do is just keep a clean sheet. And then hopefully, with the addition yesterday, Paddy Lane, and maybe there'll be a couple more additions today. Who knows? There's somebody that can find the back of the net for sure. So I'm obviously going to be optimistic and just go with a 1-0 Reading win. I think that'd be nice.
I'll definitely take it.
Yeah, of course. I'm not too clued up on how Lincoln's transfer window has been. I know they've obviously lost O'Connor, and they lost their midfielder to Bolton. Erahon, I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
who was one of the highest rated midfielders in the league. So 2 key players at least that they no longer have. But yeah, I'm not too sure who they've sort of replaced them with.
Yeah, it looks like they've got some guy from the under-18 team in midfield, and also signed JJ McKernan from Burton Albion in centre. Yeah. Signed Sonny Bradley, who's obviously a player that we've talked about previously, maybe getting for Reading. I'm guessing he's a like for like for O'Connor. Also signed Ryan Towler, who I know absolutely nothing about, but I've got it in front of me from Portsmouth.
Okay.
One thing that I've noticed about Lincoln and Reading from last season, and it's actually something I wanted to talk about later, but I'll do it now, is Reading had the highest overperformance when it comes to XG. And for anyone who doesn't understand what that means, it means Reading scored more goals than the expected goals predicted they would. So essentially it means we scored a lot of long range shots, or goals from positions that you wouldn't necessarily say are like easy chances. We scored 65 goals from 55 expected, which means we scored just short of 10 goals more than.
So basically, Lewis Wing, completely through our XG.
Pretty much. And I guess it probably actually is as simple as that, because I don't have it up in front of me, but I imagine Lewis Wing's probably scored around 8 goals last season in the league. So that if you literally just removed his goals, we'd probably be bang on.
Yeah, exactly.
But the point I'm making is Lincoln also right up there with XG overperformers. Theirs was 5 goals. They scored 5 more than the chances. So we could be in for an absolute rocket fest here. Lewis Wing will obviously be looking to kick his season off, and I wouldn't mind backing that he has a few shots from outside the box. But it looks like Lincoln will take the same approach, so that could be something to watch in this game.
Interesting.
Aside from that, mate, like more than anything, I'm just very excited for it. Like there's so many unknowns on day one. We could go up there and get a great result. We could go up there and get battered.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite exciting. Like we'll see a few players for the first time. We'll see the team play together in a competitive fashion for the first time. We'll see if they want to take up a different formation to last season. Like it's just so many questions. I think it's the most exciting part of the season, really, because
for sure,
full of hope and optimism. When you think last year when we went up to Birmingham, come away from there thinking, Jesus, we could be all right this season. Like we knew Birmingham would be the champions. Like, let's be honest, we did.
Yeah.
We knew they'd be probably the best team in the league, and they proved that they were. But we went toe to toe with them. Whereas this time we don't have that. We're not going up to a team that we're thinking are going to be pushing for the automatics. And like, you know, you look at the predictions that people are, the table predictions, and you're not really seeing Lincoln City up towards the top. So we don't have that comparison, but I think it makes it exciting. I think my prediction, I'm going to go quite pessimistic. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, because I think starting the season with a draw, getting someone off the mark. Also, it's the same result as we had last season on the first day. And I think realistically, if you said to Noel Hunt right now, you can have a point and don't bother taking the coach up, you'd probably snap your hand off, I would have thought. So 1-1 for me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's definitely a team that you want to look to beat, though, really. I guess it all sort of depends on what the season objectives are, which I guess we can move on to. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like for you, what does a successful season actually look like?
So it's such a good question. It's a really hard question, because I'm going to be quite realistic here. I think mid-table is a success for us this season. And now I'm going to sit here for the rest of the season saying we should be pushing for playoffs, and I'm hoping that we are, and we have the squad to do that. But this is a transition period for Reading. It's the first full season where we've been able to buy players. It's the first season under Rob Coig and co. I think we have to be realistic, and it's not the takeover's done, we're going to win the league, because realistically, it's not happening. You look at some of the teams that have spent well: Bolton, Huddersfield, Stockport, Luton. Those teams, I think you can confidently say, will be in the top 6. Reading, I think you might be getting a little bit carried away if you confidently say they might be in the top 6. So I think success is mid-table, try and build for the future. Now, don't get me wrong, in 6 weeks, we could have won 5 or so games, and I'm like, right, that's it, autos, we're going autos, nothing but playoffs is a success. But I think, yeah, being realistic, I think a success is mid-table, and to be honest, I predict that we finish there. I probably would predict us finishing in 9th or 10th, if I'm perfectly honest, this season.
Yeah.
What about you? Your automatics or nothing?
To be honest, I think a playoff spot. I think we've recruited well, and I'm sure after missing out narrowly last season, regardless to whether we overachieved or not, there's a lot of players that will want to sort of aim for promotion, and I'm sure that's part of the plan of the owners too. Like we've got the foundation of a really good League One side. Pereira, he was one of the he was the highest rated EFL goalkeeper last season, right? Correct me if I'm wrong with any of these. Obviously, wing, everyone knows about that. Savage had a really great season. I mean, we've got Nib still at the moment. Whether or not he'll be around in a few weeks' time, who knows? But we've got Elliott stepping in, and yeah, I think we've sort of really built a decent squad sort of around those players as well. Is automatic promotion realistic? No. Playoffs? I think so. I still think we need to recruit well, but it's definitely a possibility. Right now, I'd agree with you. I think we'd finish sort of around 9th or 10th. But with some smart signings, I definitely think we could get 6th place.
Yeah. It's definitely not out of possibility. I'm trying to be a little bit realistic. And again, like we're talking about this the day before our season starts, and we still have a few to bring in, you'd hope.
Exactly,
if players are strong, like, our squad is not bad. Like it really is quite good. And if we can bring in some depth, then yeah, I will be feeling a little bit more confident. But I think it's quite interesting. Like there's a lot of experts, EFL experts, that have obviously had their go at predicting where Reading will finish this season. I've seen some that are predicting 17th finish. I've seen some others that are predicting top 4. I've seen some others that are predicting playoffs. Reading are a really hard team to predict this season. I definitely would be siding with the guys who are more positive. I don't think we'll finish 17th. I'll be pretty gutted if that's where our season ends up. But I also don't think we'll be in the top 4. So I think realistically, Reading are somewhere bang in the middle. And yeah, 10th. I'm going to go for 10th, and I'll be pretty happy with that, I'll be honest. Where are we now?
Fair play.
So, the next question I've got here, we've talked about is promotion realistic, maybe. We've talked about league predictions. Let's talk about player of the season now. For me, there's only one answer, and it's really boring, and it's Lewis Wing. But you might have something a little bit more to add.
I'll go with Paddy Lane. I mean, I think, like we mentioned earlier, he's proven at this level. If you look at some of the goals that he scored, like some of them are they're just bangers. You know, he already looks like he wants to play for the badge. I don't know if you've watched his interview yet.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, he'll just be a really important player for us this season. So yeah, I will switch it up from Wing, and go with Paddy Lane.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd like it to not be Wing. To be honest, he's been so important to us, and we probably have over relied on him. So if it can be someone else, I think that will only be a good thing for Reading. Right, hot takes. Who's going to be Reading's first goal scorer this season?
Omani, 1-0 tomorrow. Bosh.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be the most obvious suggestion, so I'm going to have to let you have that one, and I'm going to go for Charlie Savage.
Yeah.
It was obviously Kelvin scored the first goal last season. I think he must have led the line. Or no, Smith played, so he would have been playing out on the left. I think Savage, man. I think he's going to have a really big season. Like, I think this is the season he kicks on, and I mean, realistically, gets a move at the end of the season, maybe even in January to somewhere in the league above. So I think he's going to be really key for Reading. I think he's going to be great. I think the 2 seasons we've had him for so far, he's definitely been one of the best players. He's one of the biggest young talents at Reading, but probably also in the EFL. So I think he's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like, year on year, you've seen such a big improvement. Yeah. To be fair, even last season, like with the change in manager, it was almost like watching a completely different player. Not that he was bad or anything before under Ruben Selles, but he just seemed to almost like just step onto a completely new level under Noel Hunt, and was a real sort of engine in our team.
Yeah, I completely agree, and plus I just really like him. So yeah, that's only first goal scorer. We got a few more of these to get a little bit deeper. We've done first. Let's do top. Who's going to be your top scorer for Reading?
Well, I mean, I think if we signed Devante Cole, I reckon it'd be him. But seeing as he currently is not a Reading player, I'm going to go with Paddy Lane again.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think like we're going to need goals from somewhere, and currently he looks like the biggest threat. So that he's probably a safe option. And I would agree if we sign an out-and-out striker, if we sign Devante Cole, it'd definitely be him. I'm just gonna go for Kelvin. I think if he can play all season long, we've seen it previously. He's a great finisher. He's confident on the ball, and I think he actually indexes quite nicely with big chances converted. So if he gets chances, he'll score. I mean, I spent all season saying that about Sam Smith, and look how that worked out. So just to be a little bit different, I'll go for Kelvin Iheabashaman as my top scorer for Reading this season.
Yeah, definitely. I think I sort of had him down as like a one to watch this season. I think he's a great player, but he's got loads to prove. Yeah. And in the sort of statement that he put out during the contract negotiations, it sounds like he backs himself as a top player. So yeah, it's time to see that on the pitch.
Yeah, it's definitely a case of, right, you've kind of talked the talk, now you need to walk the walk and prove that you are as good as you sort of say you are, really. And I do think he's got that in the tank, and I'm looking forward to seeing it come into fruition on the pitch. But yeah, he clearly is a very good player, and hopefully he gets bucket full of goals for us this season, alongside all the other front runners, and we'll just win the league easily. Who's going to be your surprise player, do you think? Who we kind of have covered off a lot of the obvious options for winning all of the accolades. Who do you think is not getting spoken about? Who could have a standout year?
The new boy, Daniel Kairiwa. Yeah, I just think that there's not. I doubt anyone really knows too much about him, and I doubt anyone's seen him play before. But like I said earlier, I think from what I have watched, he looks like an exciting player, and he could definitely sort of pop up with bigger contributions than maybe everyone first expected. So yeah, I think he's got to be my surprise player.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard with Danny because no one knows anything. So like by definition, he's going to be a surprise, even if he's terrible. It's going to be a big surprise because
exactly.
No one really knows what to expect with him. Obviously, it's going to be a positive. Well, obviously, I hope it's going to be a positive surprise. But he is a great selection. I feel like it's going to be a defender. I don't really know who, because I guess if Paddy O'Connor has a great season, it's not really a massive surprise, is it? Because he's quite clear. I mean, I think it might be whoever partners him at the back, as a second centre half. And to be honest, I don't know who that will be. I've seen a lot of people suggesting that Stickler might get a few more minutes this season. I think he's a great talent. If he can get minutes, I'd probably go with him. But with so many question marks around who's going to play in that position and all those kind of things, I probably wouldn't suggest him. So I think you're bang on the money, really, with the surprise package being Daniel Kairiwa. Yeah, this is a good one. I'm guessing you put this question in because I'm going to have to think on the spot here. Who is going to be the first player to be sent off for Reading this season?
I put Finley Burns, and to be honest, I just thought it's probably going to be a centre-back. And you'd hope that Paddy, with a little bit more experience, doesn't get himself in those situations. So it's as simple as that, really. Burns. Although I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. To be honest, he looks like he'll be a top player. So I mean, fingers crossed that will never happen, and he won't get sent off. But yeah, that's who I've got down.
So I don't have an answer for this. I would probably go for O'Connor if I'm honest. But I'm going to flip it and ask you a question about last season. Reading got 3 red cards in the league last season. Do you know who the 3 players were that got the red cards?
Stickland.
I'll be honest. Oh yeah, that's one. Yeah. Good.
Can you give me their position, or is that without making it way too obvious?
We've got one forward and another defender. The defender has just left Reading, I think, as of
it's Holzman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Kelvin.
Yeah, no, you got it. All 3.
Come on.
Very good. I mean, Stickland would be an absolutely mental shout to be the first red card, but maybe I'll go with him based on the fact he had one yesterday. Last season.
Yeah.
Right. Now I just really want to know what team you're most looking forward to visiting this season. Which games are jumping off that fixture sheet for you and you can't wait for?
I'd quite like to go to Bradford away. I feel like they're, an old giant, decent old stadium. And yeah, I've never ever watched Bradford play. So yeah, it's a new one, a new ground. And you'd hope, it would be a positive result with them just coming up. So yeah, I think they're definitely up there. But then just the usuals. Any of the London away days are always good quality for us. And Wickham, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I think top of my list is Wimbledon away. I really fancy a little day out in Wimbledon, obviously quite local for us. So that'll be fun. I want to go to Luton away just for all of the novelties you get by being in their away and that I've never experienced. So that's high on the list. Leyton Orient away, again, walking distance from where we live. So that's very easy, and it's quite a nice stadium, quite a fun day out. It means we can get on the beers a bit earlier if we can walk there. I'm also really excited to get back to the Select Car Leasing Stadium and watching Reading take on Huddersfield. Huddersfield are my league winners, by the way, in my predictions. I think they look very strong. I'm quite impressed by Lee Grant, or I think he's just going to be very impressive, is what I should have said. But I'm looking forward to seeing the stadium hopefully quite full, earlier kickoff, get back there, get in a positive mindset. But I'm also looking forward to seeing all of these changes that we're kind of hearing from Coig and his team, and making the sort of match day experience a more positive one and a bit better. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And obviously my signing of the season so far is Cruz Campo in for Heineken. I'm pretty excited to get stuck in and see what the Cruz Campos are saying just outside that East stand. So realistically, I'm excited for a lot of games. But yeah, we obviously aren't going to be there this weekend. So next weekend, Huddersfield at home is very, very appetizing.
Definitely.
For me, are there any games that you are dreading?
Not dreading, but I think the sort of Christmas period looks quite tough. I think we've got Luton, Stockport, and Argyle over sort of two weeks, maybe not even that, a week and a half, and then two other matches as well. I think it's Burton and Peterborough, if I can remember correctly off the top of my head when I was looking earlier. So yeah, I think that definitely looks like the toughest period. I mean, to be fair, the opening fixtures aren't particularly easy as well. I mean, going to Lincoln as well, first day, I guess anything can happen. Then we've got the Cup against Pompey, and then some difficult matches after that. So yeah, it will be good to sort of get a lot of the tougher fixtures on paper out of the way sort of early in the season, when teams sort of maybe haven't gelled or settled in as much, including Reading. But yeah, I mean, the only reason I say that is because look back at Birmingham on the opening day last season. Like, we were the better team. It took a penalty for them to get anything against us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think it's better playing those stronger sides as early as possible.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, when you look at Leyton Orient last season as well, they were like right down the bottom. I think they were even in the relegation zone maybe at Christmas. So getting all of the hard away games done early, even if it is at the sacrifice of our league position, is probably quite good. Like, we've got Bolton away, Wickham away, Barnsley away, Stockport away, all within the first month, I think, month and a half.
Yeah.
And then even Cardiff in the middle of October away. Yeah, the away fixtures are quite tough at the start. So I wouldn't say I'm dreading any of them, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, it probably is a good idea to get some of the bigger teams, or some of the teams that are touted for promotion and automatic promotion, out of the way as early as possible. Right then, last little bit that we've got to close. I want one word to predict this season.
One word. Optimistic.
Optimistic is good. I'm going to go for stable, which is really boring, but I just want a stable season where we just sort of, obviously the dream is for us to be amazing and win the league by 100 and whatever points, but I just want a year where I can just be a football fan and enjoy going to Reading games, whether they win or lose. We're somewhere in the middle. We're not worried about relegation. We're not missing out on playoffs on the last day like last season. I don't know if my heart can really do that again. So I think just one season, one normal season of being a Reading fan. It's all I ask. It's surely not too difficult. Hopefully we get that. Well, I mean, hopefully we get the optimistic side. It's quite tough to say because, yeah, I want Reading to win the league, but I just want no stress, no extra.
Yeah, I think many fans will be sharing that opinion as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Anything more to say? We're approaching 40 minutes, which is by far our longest, but it's flown by because I've enjoyed it so much. Any questions from you, Jim?
No, that's it. We'll Did we have any other questions from?
No, we covered it off. The main question we had was which away day you're most looking forward to, but I think mine's Wimbledon.
Yeah, Bradford. Whether or not I'll be able to actually make it up there, different story. But I think it will be a good away day nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll have a fair few of them this season. Right, that's it then. That's our pre-season predictions done. That's our Lincoln City preview done. Thanks very much for watching. Wherever you have watched, please like, follow, subscribe. Anything to help us get those follower and viewer numbers up would be greatly appreciated. We'll see you a lot more this season. Really looking forward to it. Hopefully see some of you at away games or at the select car leasing stadium. But until then, enjoy the football this week and come on, you are.